Morning, Piggy.
Morning. Good Saturday morning to you. Y'all know that means it's Friday morning. We thought for a minute about maybe doing this afternoon, but I'd rather go ahead and do one, get it uploaded, be done with it. Went and got a little bit of our shopping done. Did Lowe's and Save a Lot. We was going to do Aldi's, but we kind of done run out of energy.
Almost as much as we as me.
Well, old Marine and me, I can keep going until I absolutely have, as long as I absolutely have to, if I can, but pay for it later. But, if it is she, it is we.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. And, anywho, got a little bit of that out of the way. So we still got Aldi's and one other thing to hit. We're going to do Aldi Monday, and then we're going to do the other one by coming back out this evening after we're done. Kind of spread it out a little bit. So, anyhow, this is what's known as the North Bypass. Look at those mountains over there. Ain't that pretty? I like that. Really not fond of the area we're in, this region, but I imagine most places I go, I'm going to find a reason to not be too fond of it either. Unless I was way out on top of a mountain somewhere, closest neighbor 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Have about 100 or 200 acres and have a little place right smack dab in the middle of it. With a long driveway.
I'd just be happy with about 10 acres right in the middle of it.
That would work too. See, we can be sociable, but we ain't social butterflies. I can go to a social gathering and be all right, but when I'm at home, I won't see nobody too close around. The visitors would be all right from time to time, but
I like looking out a window and seeing nothing but country and animals. That's it.
That's it. I like being able to walk out on my front porch and take a whiz without having to worry about nothing. Somebody sees me then, it's because they've got a drone flying around. And it's apt to crash and burn, if you know what I mean. And should they complain, I say, hey, you shouldn't have been flying it over my property. Comes over my property, you're invading my privacy, my space. Therefore, it will crash and burn. So, I'll give it back to you. But I took your material off of it because it don't belong to you. That's exactly how I'd be about it. Well, that material belongs to me. That was on my drone. That was over my property spying on me. Therefore, it does not belong to you. I wonder why that truck slowed down the way it did. He was going to get some coal.
Then he saw that popo sitting the other day.
Yeah, you saw that thing just...
Yeah.
He didn't hit no brakes, but he slowed down hard enough that nose dropped down, that back end went up.
That's the truth.
Hey, he knows how to read the road. I flashed him, let him know he's good to go. Come on over, and he did.
Don't fly too much up this way. You might run into another popo.
Yeah, they might have them a little communication setup going on. Hey, I just saw one really slow down. He didn't hit the brakes, but he did a hard slow down. He's heading your way. He's probably going to speed up when he thinks he's out of my sight. Oh, well, he's going to get off before that can happen.
Yeah.
Well, that's good for him. Just take a little leisurely drive getting back home, back to the house. Folks, I ain't got to tell y'all, there's a lot going on, a lot of shifty stuff, more stuff being found out. Deleted files recovered. People thinking that they got rid of evidence. Elon found it in his team. Showing proof of stuff, folks. Showing proof of stuff. Y'all ain't got to believe it. They got the receipts. Judges out there still trying to run the presidency from the bench. Personally, I think judges who do that need to be arrested and charged, because they got no business trying to tell the executive branch what they can and can't do. As far as the illegals go, not sorry, folks. Once they cross that border illegally, they have no rights as citizens here. Only right they got is human rights, to be treated humanely as they're being deported back out. And that's it. They got no right to due process. They're not a citizen. They're not a green card holder working on becoming a citizen. And ones that have visas or green cards, but to go to college and whatnot, if they promoting a different political ideology that goes against the Constitution, they got to go. They give up any rights they might have had holding a green card.
Yeah. And those that are here illegally are criminals, so therefore they
have no rights.
have rights to go back home. You shipped out. You shipped El Salvador. I like that idea.
Yeah, you coming over here, even if you got a green card, if you're waving the flag of the country from which you came, you're not a refugee. Because if you came here for fear of your life from the country from which you came, you would not be waving that country's flag around.
Or if you're promoting a terrorist organization.
Oh, well, some of that stuff that was deleted was proof that Democrats have been sending money to terrorist organizations.
Yeah.
You know, and those terrorist organizations are large in number over here. Got a place in Texas going to try to build up a little town that's a Sharia law town. No, that's got to go.
Won't be done in Texas. Texas passed a law saying they ain't no that you can't have Sharia law in Texas.
Right, but they trying.
They can try. They won't.
They broke ground on it. It's 400 acres. Folks, sorry, not sorry. Islam is not a religion. It is a political ideology and system.
And it is not a particular race, because there are many different races that consider themselves
right.
Muslim.
So that, I mean, you can practice whatever religion you want, you know, freedom of religion. I get that. I don't care about that. But when something is a political system, an ideology, not just a religion, so they've got them intertwined. They call it a religion, but actually it's a political system. And it goes against the Constitution. Therefore, not legal in the United States. So, come over and practice your religion if you want to. I don't agree with it, but that's not on me. But when you start trying to change America and have a competing political ideology that goes completely contrary to the Constitution, you got to go. Sorry, not sorry, hate it for you, but that's just the truth of the matter. And they're doing exactly like they've been proven to do throughout history. They come in a few at a time, start, doing the humble, peaceful thing, get everybody to think, oh, they're not bad people. Well, they may be not bad people. They have a bad ideology. And then they start growing in numbers. And as they grow in numbers, they start pushing the limits of what they can do within that country they're invading, so as to start taking over. They did that to Dearborn, Michigan. Now, I don't think a lot of them are truly full-hearted Muslim because they love Trump. But that could be a ruse too. See, something folks don't really realize about all that is they've got a word. It's called Taqiya. Taqqiyah, I think.
They spell it 3 or 4 different ways.
But the bottom line is, it means that they can lie to the infidel. Who's the infidel? Anybody who does not believe exactly the way they do.
So say anybody that doesn't believe in Muhammad.
And, well, the way they do.
Yeah.
So, that's the infidel to them. They grow in number and they get a little more power and they get a little more power and get a little more power. Till eventually, while breeding like rabbits, they eventually outnumber those who were believe in the system of government that they have had, and then change it up. Then you become a stranger in your own nation and are then considered the infidel. What they are supposed to do to the infidel is either end their lives or tax them so bad they die of starvation. Either way, the end is you no longer breathe. And that's how they do it. They've done it for hundreds and hundreds of years. And they got everybody fooled up until they flipped the script. So, you might think they got humble intentions starting out. But like a seed growing, that thorny patch will eventually grow. and you won't be able to get rid of it. So, you might say there's peaceful Muslims and extreme Muslims. Now they all one and the same. One's like a meat tenderizer, getting everything softened up so that their warriors can come in and wreak havoc and finish the job. Sorry, not sorry, that's just the truth of it. It's been proven out time and time again. You know, so it's just like it's being proven now, just like it was out in the Northwest when one side of the spectrum started burning, looting, killing, and raping. Was not charged for it. And that was okay with people who align with that side of things. But the slightest little infraction on the other side, oh, that's just worse than Nazis. No. And they're doing it again with the burning the Teslas and whatnot, what they're doing there. Folks, those are the Nazis. Those are the people who are violent. And I'm just going to tell you, they're lucky that those of us who believe in things being right haven't went off the grid yet. The only reason those people are being as violent as they are is because they've been allowed to get away with it. Others of us are trying to wait for the law to do right. That's the only thing keeping the law-abiding from putting those riders and those on that side of things in check. And just like the Civil War, you had brother against brother because of different views on particular subjects. And folks know it wasn't about slavery. Slavery was a small plank put on the platform for the war after the fact in order for that war to take place and do what had to be done. What it was really about was England was trying to get the South and get their cotton and trade and everything to split the nation, making it weaker so they could take back over control. The slavery issue was just a small plank that had been added to the platform for war. So, study your history. You'll figure that out. And, well, that's what's going on now. There are other forces trying to split our nation. United we stand, divided we fall. And the trouble is, we don't want to see nobody hurt. So we hold back. That's why others who are violent, mentally ill, have been allowed to go and do things without being put in check. Well, they're starting to be put in check now. The law is starting to do what it's supposed to do. Arrest, charge, and put away violent people. And which avoids a civil war. Because that's where we was headed. And as soon as that had started, those others that have been trying to split this nation would have moved right in and started taking over while we was all fighting each other. China, their little puppet, George Soros, and others, and the Democrat Party, who are traitors because they are communists. You line up what they want with what China wants, you'll find they have the same things. Sorry, not sorry. Time to wake up from the dream. Y'all think about it. Piggy loves you.